Hello everybody, my name is Celeste177 and thank you for watching this video. This is a post-commentary video of my sub-32 Celeste Any Speedrun. It finally happened for me. I was working towards this time for so long. I'm really glad. So this is a little post-commentary that happened during my stream, because I like to do these. I go over my mindset and how I felt during the run and how things went on in the run. So if you like the video, you may also want to check out my stream. I stream 3 times per week, and currently we are grinding out Celeste blindfolded, so that's something a few of you might be interested in. Link is in the description. And also, one thing I want to mention here. During the stream, we noticed that Celeste speedruns have a very difficult time to explain everything that's going on, because everything is going on so fast. So I will make soon a YouTube video series that's called the Celeste Any Speedrun Over Explained, where I will go into every little detail of the speedrun and explain it to you, so you will understand what actually we have to do to hit those tricks or to hit that movement tag. So if you're interested in that, you may also want to leave a subscribe to this channel so you won't miss it once I produce that video series. I don't know when I will actually start, but I definitely want to start as soon as possible. Without further delaying this video, I just want to leave it like that, and I hope you enjoyed this post-commentary speedrun, and yeah, enjoy it. Yo, thank you for the good luck. Yeah, I'm not speedrunning right now, I just commentate my speedrun. So hello everybody on YouTube. I will upload this to YouTube most likely. This is a commentated run for Celeste Any sub 32. My sub 32 PB happened like 2 weeks ago from now on, I believe. And this run was like incredible for me. Like everything that could have gone right went right. Besides like a few very small things. Yo Aisha, thank you for the good luck. I'm not speedrunning right now. This is my PB that happened 2 weeks ago. My sub 32. I'm just going to commentate over it, so I have like content I can put on YouTube every time I have like a gap in my content creation. So yeah, city. This city was like phenomenal. I hit every strat first try. Nothing too bad. Yo, She-Lane, nice that everybody is coming back to me after I had like a smaller stream break for like 2 weeks. We will talk in a little bit. Just, yo, thank you for the 13 months, She-Lane. It's like incredible. Over a year by now. It's crazy. Thank you so much for your continuous support. But yeah, this is Celeste Any Everybody should know it. So let's talk about a few things first, as I try to still interact with my chat. So I was grinding for this like for around 2 months, 3 months, and basically what I was practicing was every day, or every time I was practicing, I just jumped into every chapter and I tried to achieve my goal times, which are sub 110 city, sub 2 minute chapter 2, sub 5 minute chapter 3, and so on. Like always good times that will lead to a sub 32. And on the day I recorded this, I basically was like feeling very, very confident with my gameplay. I hit in practice like all my times very, very quickly. Like, I hit it sub 5 chapter 3 times in a row. Like, I got a 443, I got a 450 and a 455 or something. And I never gotten a sub 5 resort in like months. So I knew, okay, this is like a really good sign. Or like, I got never a sub 450 resort in months, so I was like, okay, this is like already going good. Then I jumped into 5B, I got like really good buffs drops all the time. Then I jumped into reflection, I got a 611 or 610 reflection, which was another ILPB. And at that point I knew, okay, I just have to sit down and do runs, and eventually I will end up PBing like. And that's what this run is. So I did like 1 run before this, I reset it after city. And then this run happened, which is like phenomenal, as you will see. Then we had like a little bit of issues. We are around 4 to 5 seconds behind here already. But this shouldn't be too bad. Also, this run happened, I believe, 2 days after my wisdom teeth got pulled. So, yeah. Did they? Or did it happen before? No, I think this happened like the week before I got my wisdom teeth pulled. But I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Like my entire feeling of time, what happened when, is like completely off as of right now. But yeah, this run was like really incredible. I just knew I didn't stream on that day because I was feeling not good. So I believe this happened after my wisdom teeth got pulled, which was like also like 2 weeks or 1 week ago. No, 2 weeks. Last week I went to the hospital again and they checked everything. And also they got rid of the wires, or however you call that. But yeah, I got my wisdom teeth pulled and I still managed to play Celeste good. So you see, I had like brilliant RNG on the wisdom teeth pull. Because, yeah, I feel no pain. It went really well for me. But let's talk more about Celeste. So this old side, besides the struggle in the beginning, was like really good battle in section. Like I hit every strategy, even the difficult ones in battle in section. And I got a good awake section, so I ended up sub 2, which was like also good. So City was 105 or 106, if I remember. And this was a sub 2. Already really good start. Yeah, that's weird. How are you? I'm really good. The entire thing of Wisdom Thieves is over now. My internet sometimes is like still a little bit of a bitch, but for the most part I should be able to stream. If the internet goes off, it's not too bad. It should be coming back in like 1 or 2 minutes for the most part. So if my internet goes off, please just stick with me. I will be back in most likely a few minutes. But I cannot control it. I talked with my internet provider already. It's like weird. It's weird as fuck. Yeah, I saw Streetling also streaming today, but I couldn't check it out. I was doing some other things. So yeah, Resort. From all the early game, like always when I have a good early game, like good chapter 1 and 2, I always mess up this chapter. And not really like the entirety of this chapter. This chapter goes really well for me up until the later part of Huge Mess, which means like towel and book section, or the elevator shaft. If I have like a brilliant chapter 3, I die either in towel section a whole lot and lose 20 seconds there, or I die in elevator shaft a whole lot and lose 20 seconds there. Because elevator shaft is like one of the most punishing and most difficult sections in this run, probably. For the most people. Like, elevator shaft is so brutal, even though it looks like super simple. It's like weird to explain. But yeah, I was feeling on this day very confident when I was doing this. Like, as I mentioned already in the beginning, when I was practicing, I was like, okay, if I want to PB, if I seriously want to PB, then I have to do attempts now. If I don't do attempts today, I will eventually have to wait another week or 2 until I get a sub 32. So yeah, I was not planning on doing full runs this day. I was just playing Celeste for the sake of doing something with my time. And then I ended up doing a full run because I saw myself playing very phenomenal. So yeah, this time is already like really good. We enter sub 220 the next room. Like not this one, this one. So that's like already a good start. We are around 4 seconds behind gold, but that's okay. Like my gold, I don't in particular need my gold. I can be 10 seconds behind gold and still be very happy with my resort. When I ever go back to any percent, like resort is one of the few chapters that really have to get a lot more consistent. Otherwise PBing is going to be so ridiculously hard. Yeah, you buy way too much stuff. Like, how do you have all that money? I mean, you're working, right? Like a normal person is supposed to work after school. So you have a lot of money, I believe. This room is the one that kills me a whole lot, but I figured out what I need to look into, what I need to focus on, and what I'm not allowed to be scared of. And 303 exiting. Oh god, I cannot speak today. The switch room is like still 5 seconds behind gold. So I knew if I don't die in elevator shaft, I'm pretty confident with Fushira section, I will get a 445, 450, something really good. So let's see how this elevator shaft goes. The first one went already pretty well. This is the most punishing room in this chapter, I believe. If you die here, which is very easy, you lose so much. It's ridiculous. This and the next one. Not this one, but the one that's following. Demo Dash, I believe I failed this one, to be honest. Yeah, I failed it 2 times. I got it only for 3rd try. So that's like basically every time I attempt a PB, I can save here 7 seconds, 6 seconds. Just because I didn't do Demo Dash 1st try. This room, it's just important to not die. Sometimes I die here at the end, but no problem. No problem today. And yeah, now a Shiro section. I look at my timer every time I enter a Shiro section. It says 4 or 5, so if I don't die, I will end up with a 4:55, most likely. Something around that time. So I just knew I don't have to risk anything here. I just play as always. I don't have to stress out something. I just stick to my game plan. Don't think, like, overthink something. Just feel confident with my strategies, and it worked out eventually. That's like a general, a good tip for everybody trying to speedrun. Sometimes you overthink, oh, now this room is coming up, I'm so scared of it. This was, by the way, kind of lucky. I failed here, and I knew, okay, whatever, I just try my best. I didn't even get the death cycle, but I just kept on going. So everything besides that last room was really good in that resort. Everything besides the last room and dying to Demo Dash twice. So that's why this is only a 5-minute resort. But I still had like a lot of confidence. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm still like 3 seconds behind the best time I ever exited resort. Like the best I ever exited resort in a full run was 8:38. So I was like completely fine here. I knew I just need to play really good from now on, and I can definitely PB still. I didn't feel like my gameplay was like going like downhill. I didn't feel like I'm playing worse all of a sudden. I felt like that's the mistake that normally happens because when we tend to play video games, we make mistakes every now and then. We are no robots, so I was like still completely fine with that. Yeah. It was on sale today, so why not? That's the marketing strategy behind every person putting something on sale. Like people see products, and then they see their products, like they get interested in them, and then they see they go on sale. People automatically start buying far more stuff. It makes sense, but you may also just put something on sale. Like maybe let's say you sell something on Amazon for $100, but its original price is actually $60. So you just put it on sale for $60, and everybody will start buying it, even though it's still a normal price. I mean, if you use it a lot, then sure, go ahead. I mean, you do what you want to do with your money. So this resort was the last chapter. Rich, we're already 5 seconds behind here, compared to gold because of a few mistakes. But I always say to myself in this chapter, like being behind in the earlier parts, like around here, the earlier parts stopped for me or is done. I still know like this chapter isn't too hard. It's just kind of difficult to be all the way through consistent, because there are still like very precise things every other room or something. So what I say to myself when I make mistakes in the early game is that I still can obtain a really good time if I just play focus and just play with the mindset of not being scared of a room or a trick, because there are some rooms I'm really scared of in this chapter. Like some rooms I know when I fail them I will lose a lot of time, and I'm very used to fail them. But this time I was like really confident, and you see, just having that in mind is like extremely helpful. People underestimate that in speedrunning, especially that that mindset is still a really important thing. If you're scared of a trick or boss fight or whatever, then you already start playing less consistent than normally. So I had a lot of faith or a lot of confidence in this room. I failed the trick there, but I recovered very well from it. On other days I might have panicked super hard and died a whole lot. So I was just going forward with the mindset of I can do every fucking strat in this run. and still get a sub 32, or like I can do every strategy I've learned and still get my desired time because I've practiced the game a whole lot in the last few months, basically. And that's basically all you need to put in mind. And the rest is just play the game until you hit every strategy you want to hit, and until you hit every time you want to hit. And that's all what speedrunning is about. And people end up eventually, you know, raging a whole lot or stop believing into themselves. And then the entire speedrun grind gets a lot more difficult. So I was like entering this 11 something. I don't know exactly, like I believe 11:38, 11:40, 11:45, never mind. It was not that good. But still, sub 12 entering Mirror Temple, I'm really happy with that time. This tape, like 5A, the tape collection we are currently doing, was probably on that day the part I was most unconfident with. Basically, like, this part is general one of my less comfortable parts of the run, just because it is so short, but it has so many things that can ruin a good time. Like if you miss yeet, if you miss like the reverse hypers, if you die in one of these rooms. There are not that many, but if you die in one of these rooms, it's a far bigger punish than, for example, if you would die in city. If I die in city, I lose like 2 seconds. If I die here, I lose 5 seconds, and it's quite tight to get my gold time here. Like I'm not really allowed to do a mistake if I want to obtain my gold time, and there's still so many precise things you have to do here, especially this room. Getting the fastest cycle is like seriously really difficult. There I got it, so I was fine. I looked at my time, I knew, okay, this is definitely going to be like a 123, yeah, 122 even exiting. Yeah, I want to make a video about yeet. Yeah, yeet is that like big corner boost you do in the middle of this chapter. It's like a 3 pixel trick with like lightning speed, and it's basically pure muscle memory execution. Yeah, this run is basically for people who know the speedrun. It's really difficult to do commentated Celeste speedruns because everything is so fast. You can't commentate it in one run. You probably, like, if I ever want to do a very serious Celeste commentary, which I probably will do when I hit sub 30. Do I get buffs drop? Yeah, of course I get buffs drop. Buffs drop. I made a video that explains this trick like very well, so everybody wanna check it out. It's now in the info bar with timestamp probably. So yeah, go check it out. But buffs drop, the most precise trick. Yo, see you after dinner. So after I hit buffs drop, I knew I was on a good pace. Now I know, okay, as long as I survive 5B, aka sub 3 minutes, don't die in many rooms, I'm like completely set for a good PB pace. That's all I need. If I survive the first 5 chapters, which is still like only 2/3 of the run, or less than 2/3 of the run, I know it's like fine. But the thing is, in this 5B, I already died in that big room, and I'm about to die a few more times in this chapter, which was very unfortunate. Like, this run was overall extremely good. The only thing that was bad is that basically every long room that exists in the speedrun, I died in. Or most long rooms I died in. So yeah, there's my second death in this chapter, and I already knew, okay, this is not going to be sub 3. I still want to manage the least amount of time to lose here as possible. So normally I would already, you know, be very frustrated here, be very, fuck, I messed up this entire chapter already. I don't know if my pace is going to be good afterwards. What I did on this run is I always said to myself, okay, it's very unfortunate that these mistakes happen, but you cannot change it. Just try to play the best you can and see whatever time you have at the end of the chapter. Because I knew I was on a really good pace, so probably I will still be at a good or decent enough pace if I kept on playing well. And that's exactly what I tried to do. And that's like exactly what everybody else should try to do. people, especially like when it comes down to world record, they give up so quickly after a small mistake, which is understandable. I mean, on world record, you are not allowed to do small mistakes, but I've seen people, especially in longer speedruns, still recover from small mistakes during world record attempts. But so many other people just give up and reset. It's like, okay, you wanna achieve like a really, really good time, but still like see, like it's not always over just because of one mistake. And that's what I kept on in my mind there. These were the only 2 deaths besides the intended death. So I was like still really good. I was like at a low 16 entering this chapter. If I wouldn't have died during the chapter at all, if I would have gotten 0 deaths, I would have entered chapter 6 sub 16, which actually would have been like by far the best run I've ever had. Like the second best I've ever entered this chapter was 16:20 maybe, and this was like the best time I ever entered this chapter. Sub 16 would have been like super good, but the thing is, if I would have entered sub 16 chapter 6, I would have also felt so much pressure. Like I knew, okay, I played a godlike early game, I played a good mid game, or like good chapter 3 and 4, and I played like the best 5B I've ever played. I would have felt so pressured and maybe far more nervous than I was today, or was during this run. So yeah, sometimes I would actually say for those mid-high level runners, it can be good to not be on godlike PB pace. Because if you're on godlike PB pace, I don't know how about you, but when I'm on like the most ridiculous pace I ever have, I start to shake and feel uncomfortable far earlier. Like I remember back in the day when I was grinding for sub 35, I had runs I already like shaked a whole lot after finishing chapter 3, because I saw myself having the best pace ever. And I got better at it, but it's also like nice to see a run not having like minus 50 seconds or something. Because when you see that, it can put a lot of, you know, mental pressure on you, because you feel like, okay, imagine if I just play extremely well now, I PB by like maybe 1.5 minutes, which would be extremely insane. But you're not really in particular allowed to think that way. Speedrunning or improving in speedrunning is like a longer progress. It's nice to cut 130 in a PB already. Like it's nice to have a 130 PB, but you don't necessarily need that. If you stick to your plans, you will PB that big. One day or the other. Like you will PB on the one day by 20 seconds and on the next by 10 seconds and so on, and that will all add up to 130. But the difference is it's far more consistent. Like your progress is far more consistent, and you don't feel extremely pressured during every run. Like the day I got my first sub 32, sub 33, I had like the most insane summit. And then it took me like so long to get a similar summit again, because that summit time was inconsistent for me, because it was like a one and only miracle, you want to say. And if I would have PB'd in this run by 1 minute 30, it also probably would have been a one and only miracle that wouldn't have happened in like 1 or 2 months ever again. So I'm far more happy just PBing by a little bit, even though PBing by a lot is also nice. But you know, you need to see the positive about in every PB. Like I know I could have PB'd in this run by 20 minutes, by 20 seconds more or something, but I'm also fine with what I've got, and I know my potential, and that's like also really important. Like don't misunderstand me, PBing by 1 minute 30 is nothing bad, but you need to understand if you just PB by 30 seconds, you need to see like also the good things. Like maybe this wasn't like the time you want to get, but you see your potential, and that's like the important part. Getting some water because my mouth is running out of fuel basically. That's currently me whenever, I mean that's basically every speedrunner whenever they get a good pace tree lane. You need to learn and experience it, I believe. Like I personally gotta admit, I got so much better at controlling my nerves over the basically 1.5 years I'm speedrunning this game. Like, I got so much better. I don't get as nervous as in the earlier days. So you just need to experience 100 times yourself in a PB pace. Or 1000 times. And then you will eventually understand how your body works, and you will see it's not too bad, and you will get a feeling for it, and it will go away. Like, it never will go away, really. Like, you will still feel very nervous during Summit, for example, but you can still play the game. It doesn't affect your body as much as in the early days. Like, it really depends on the person, and it depends on the experience. This battle and fight and the reflection itself is, by the way, also really good. So this is the last room before the midway point or before the cutscene, and I enter it sub 5. Like 4:52 is around the best time I've ever entered this cutscene. So that's like really good. I knew I don't need to risk anything. I just play my strats and I end up having a 620, 610. Something in between that reflection. That's all I need, that's all I want. It's a really good time. So sometimes it's good to look at your timer because then you know where you're at and then you know what you have to keep playing. Like on what speed, on what confidence level you have to keep playing in order to achieve your goals. So I knew, okay, I'm like really running through this chapter with a lot of time left. So I just knew, okay, I play whatever my strategy is. I don't need to push for anything risky. I don't need to worry about my time not being good enough. If I just keep on playing normal because I played well enough throughout the entire chapter, it will be good enough. And that's basically what I did here. Now, getting to battling, getting the level up sub 6 minutes is like really good as ever happened. Like probably only 4 or 5 times to me. In the entire history of speedrunning this chapter. To be honest, this is my least practiced chapter, but still, this is like really good. This is going to be a 612, 613. It's like really good. 613 is like the 4th best time I ever had. So yeah, and it's only like 3 seconds behind gold. Couldn't ask for much more, to be honest. Probably the 3 seconds I'm missing were the seconds I died. I don't even remember where I died there. And yeah, I entered Summit at 22:30. So I knew, okay, if I just get sub 10, I will most likely PB already. So worrying about PBing stopped here. Because I knew if I just play okay-ish, I get sub 10 most likely. So I didn't worry as much as about PBing. The only thing that was in my mind right now is, can I get sub 32 or not? And what I basically was thinking throughout this part of the run, through these past 40 seconds, I was thinking, what time do I need in order to get a sub 32? So I was thinking around, like I was calculating, like a 9:25 would be nice. Then I get my time and then I'm happy. Like basically I aim for sub 9:30 now, which is also my goal time. Every time I practice Summit, I aim for 9:30 and then I move on to the next chapter. So I know how I can achieve 9:30. That's what I mentioned with my practice method earlier. I practice for my goal times, so I know what I need to achieve, or I know which strategies I need to hit in order to achieve my goal time. I get more comfortable hitting good times. That's what this entire practice routine I had was there for. So I practiced getting sub 9:30 summits just for the sake that I feel confident during my full runs getting sub 9:30s. So I knew, okay, if I want to get a sub 9:30, I need to be around this time entering the 2000 meter section. I need to hit these and these strats first try most likely. Like just getting data, getting knowledge, getting confident, hitting your goal time is like really beneficial. Nice recovery there. Like if you ever want to achieve a certain PB, I really recommend practicing like your goal times in each chapter or each section of the game, because you will feel much more comfortable getting these certain times. There, I think, yeah, at this point, I was like very shaky with my dream hypers, so I stopped using dream hypers. Because I realized I couldn't do it in this room, I just stopped right there. I didn't even try to dream hyper. There I dream hypered, and then the next room I dream hypered. But for a quick moment, I stopped pushing myself harder because I knew I don't have the head right now to stay focused for dream hypers. So that's why I just straight up stopped using that much more precise trick, and I went back to like more casual or easier strategies. I ended up losing maybe a little bit of time not using the fastest strategy, but I also ended up saving time because I didn't die as often. Here I died, and that was like very bad. Like, this is one of the 2 rooms that is like really a run killer for me. But I was so focused on achieving my goal, time, I didn't even pay really attention that I died here. Like, after the run was over, I totally forgot that I died in this room. I just was like, oh well, I died. I went back and re-attempted the strategy, and I got it. Like, because I was so focused on, I just need to play well, and then I get my sub 32. I want to get sub 32 for over 3 or 4 months now. So that, I mean, I'm this close to my goal. I just need to think about how do I get to this goal. That's what was basically everything that was going on in my mind. So yeah, don't overthink. Just know what you can do and what you can't do, and know how you can achieve your goals. Really, really valuable thing I've learned during these runs. And I think besides that, that was like the only real problematic part of Summit, because the rest of Summit is like really, really good, as you will see. I actually managed to keep both berries, which is something that rarely happens. I collect them both there so they don't annoy me during autoscore skip. Autoscore skip, I felt a little under pressure because I used to fail that in the recent attempts actually. But I was still like, you know, I was confident on this evening with everything I did, with everything with my movement, with my consistency, with my mindset. So yeah, I just kept on playing. I enjoyed myself playing a lot, and that's like also, you know, really important that you enjoy attempting your speedruns. Like, if you want to get world record or PB and you don't enjoy attempting to like doing a PB attempts, then you probably need to stop for today and come back on another day. But that's like super obvious. But sometimes people miss the super obvious things. So yeah, 5:05 entering 2,500. I knew I'm around 15 to 10 seconds behind gold. Totally fine. I know if I hit everything here or in Summit, I'm like good to go. So yeah, I wasn't really worried. I knew I could PB. I knew I could get sub 32 if I just kept playing. So I didn't really worry about the fact that I'm behind. I'm going to get the key. I missed it first try, but I got the second try back up very quickly. So that's good, because the backup is a lot more difficult than the first attempt you get. This fairly new strat, probably the newest strat I've implemented into my run at this point. Failed the first try, but yeah. As I already told you thousands of times, I didn't care about if I die here or not. I really didn't. Now one thing that's really funny. I was not confident enough going for door skip. I don't know why. I believe I practiced Summit before this attempt. Like, the last thing I practiced before attempts was Summit. And during a really good Summit, an ILPB Summit, I ended up dying 5 times to door skip. So I was like, let's better skip door skip for today. I know it makes my run invalid, basically, for the community at least, but I was like, okay, whatever. I don't want to save that 1 second. I also knew I don't need to save that 1 second. If I would have missed sub 32 by 1 second, I would have been really pissed, but luckily that wasn't the case. So yeah, now Summit. I looked at the time, I saw, like, when did I actually, let's move back. let's move back for once. Okay, so I entered 3,000 meters at barely sub 29. So I knew as long as I get a 3 minute or sub 3 minute 3,000 meters, I have my sub 32. And I know the best 3,000 meters I can play, or I can play on average, is a 3 minute. Like 3 minute is the mark. Most of my 3,000 meters are around. So that's all that was on my mind right now. Don't risk anything. Just play the strategies you can apply and you've learned, and you will end up eventually with a 3 minute 3,000 meters, and you will have your PB. There I died, which was very unfortunate, but yeah, we still recovered from that because the rest of 3,000 meters was like so phenomenal. Like, yeah, I got the wall bounce here, real quick strategies. Here I was very shaky because in practice I was like, my muscle memory turned off for that one jump. Like, for whatever reason, I always dash before jumping. It was like, I don't know what was going on, but my brain couldn't press the buttons in the right order. So that's why I went a little slow there in my head, just to make sure I don't die. Yeah. Weird story, but sometimes your muscle memory just doesn't apply to your body anymore. And for whatever reason happened there. Like, I couldn't pull off my muscle memory with the same speed I normally do. So flag 13 or entirety of upwind section is a very slow played section, but still like probably the next, it's definitely on the top 3 most brutal sections when it comes down to time losses, because flag 13, flag 14, flag 15, all these places, if you die, you lose like 10 to 15 seconds. It's ridiculous. And if you skip the flag here, which I didn't, I don't focus on it if I skip it or not. I just jump on the platform and I end up skipping it or not. I don't really focus on skipping it or not skipping it. But yeah, upwind section, there was a very, very punishing section of the entire run. Despite the fact it's like a very slow-paced section. So I looked at the time, I saw 31 entering or getting to flag 6. I knew, okay, I just need to play normal. I don't need anything crazy. I have sub 32 if I just don't die here. And that's what was all I was focusing on. Just don't die. It's very, like, it sounds very easy, but it can be very stressful. There I skipped flag 3, so I slowed down here a little bit because dying would have been like very costly. I don't like skipping flag 3, but sometimes it happens to be a thing. And I didn't want to go back. Like, I don't want to put myself away from the usual route. I just want to play the way I always play. I look at the time and I know, okay, don't die here. If you die here, you will hate yourself. Just play slow, play normal. I got here, I waited a little bit, a split second in my mind to not skip or to not reset the entire last flag. And then we have it, sub 31 with a sub 32 with a 926 summit. Really, really awesome run. I was like very, very happy. Yo, thank you for watching the video. Really happy that you came all the way through this end. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the post commentary. There will be soon more videos to come about Celeste, as I mentioned in the intro. All I'm here to say is now, if you liked the video, then please give it a like, or subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, gives me motivation to keep doing what I like to do. Also, check out my stream, as I mentioned in the beginning. The link is down below in the description. If you like that video, then you will like my stream, guaranteed. I really try to push hard on Twitch and on YouTube. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. I don't believe that people do this, but some people actually do. So thank you, you are awesome. See you hopefully in the next video or in the next Twitch stream or in the podcast. I have a podcast, also the link to this is in the description. You guys are awesome. People who listen or watch my stuff, you guys are awesome. But now, thank you and bye. See you soon.